Hi Gemini, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. Hope you guys are having a good holiday season and New Year as well. This is your 2026 year ahead overview. As far as the main deck being used, we have the Hermetic Tarot. And the way it works is we'll actually take a look at all 12 of the houses of the zodiac with your sign representing the first house. We'll actually pull an oracle card from Wisdom the Oracle deck as well. And we'll actually start the reading off of Rono's astrology ice we have off to the right. So let's do that. Alright, so we have 3. So third house energy for you guys is Leo. I will say the South Node will be moving into Leo. That's the main thing that comes to mind as far as Leo energy when we come into 2026. And of course, third house in general points to communication, short journeys, and siblings. Alright, we have Aries. So Aries for you guys is your 11th house of friendships, groups, hopes, and wishes. And there's going to be some pretty significant energy going on there as far as, we'll have Saturn in Aries for most of the year. Chiron's been there for quite some time as well. We'll have Neptune in Aries for quite some time as well. So some pretty heavy hitters going on in your 11th house. And we have the Sun. So, of course, as we move through the year, it's going to move through every sign of the zodiac. So nothing too special to talk about there. But yeah, this could just be saying that you might feel like things are a bit transitory this year too, right? Where maybe the energy might shift from one month to the next. You're going one way one moment, then maybe that shifts for you. But also, the Sun could point to you feeling energized and also some recognition as well. So keep all that in mind as we go through the main spread. In the first house, we have Justice. So this is actually Libran energy. In this deck, it's referred to as the daughter of the Lord of Truth. So yeah, if we look at the symbolism here, I feel like this is saying that you might actually feel like things are coming into balance for you guys this month, and this year, rather. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is actually going to be mainly through your own doing, right? For some of you, this could be actually taking on some creative type of project. So if we look at the two scales there, we have Venus on one side and Saturn on the other, right? So it could just be saying that maybe if you build something that you actually enjoy, but actually put into work behind it, could actually pay off very well for you this year. Speaking of which, in the second house, which represents possessions, self-worth, and finances, we have the Six of Swords. In this deck, it's referred to as the Lord of Earned Success. So this is Aquarius energy here. So yeah, this could just be saying that for some of you, maybe through learning something new, actually that might be the key as well. So kind of incorporating what we see with the Justice energy along with this energy here, given that Aquarius energy for you guys is 9th house, could just be saying that maybe you expose yourself to something different as far as maybe a new philosophy, maybe even going a more traditional route and learning something as far as higher education goes. But either way, looks like it will actually lead to more success for you on a financial level this year. All right, in the third house, which also came up with the dice, we have the Hanged Man. So usually I view this as a Piscean energy, and in this deck it's referred to as the spirit of the mighty waters. So yeah, looking at the symbolism here, again, I feel like this is saying, right, like we were talking about with the first couple of energies, this could be where maybe you're exposing yourself to different viewpoints, right? Maybe taking on a new philosophy. And in doing so, it looks like it's actually going to lead to greater success for you in multiple areas of life when it looks at things now. All right. In the fourth house, we have the Hierophant. There's the artwork. And we have Magus of the Eternal Gods. So, yeah. Looking at this here, given that this is Taurus energy, this does remind me of the fact that we basically will have Uranus still moving through Taurus until close to the end of April, and then it will move back into your sign. So that energy right there could actually help spark 12th house energy for you guys, as far as you might get more intuitive insights than you were accustomed to, right? Maybe you'll have more interesting dreams, right, where they might seem a little bit layered, maybe even almost prophetic at times. But I think this is saying that this is a really good time for you to tap into that type of energy. All right. In the fifth house, which generally points to romance, creativity, and children, we have the Ten of Pentacles, Lord of Wealth. So, yeah, I mean, what we've seen from the first two houses for sure, now here, the fifth house, third and fourth, also pretty positive energies overall, but another indicator that you could actually see things take off for you. Now, possibly for some, this could even just be saying maybe through a home-based business as well, because we've seen some Piscean energy, which is your 10th house. Now we see the Virgo energy, which is your 4th house. So it could just be something that you incorporate, or maybe it's just saying that you build it from the ground up, you know. But either way, it looks like this is definitely a positive indicator here. And of course, given that this can also point to romantic energy, like we mentioned with 5th house in general, it could just be saying that there might be some growth there as well. All right. 6th house energy, we have the Queen of Swords, so Libra energy here again. And we have Queen of the Thrones of Air. So certainly a bit more intense artwork than we see with the Justice Libra energy in the first house for you guys. But yeah, well, actually the term that came to mind looking at this and just taking overall energy so far was taking no prisoners, right? So this could just be saying on the one hand, right, it looks like you're approaching things from a spiritual lens this year. Like I said, maybe even exposing yourselves to new philosophies that maybe you know might not have even been aware of up to this point. But in doing so, I feel like this is saying it's actually going to strengthen you, right? So I feel like you're going to have more confidence behind yourselves, but not really in an egotistical way, right? Although again, this artwork looks a little intense, but I feel like it's just more of those things. One of those things where you're just going to be very decisive in how you move, and that might rub some people the wrong way, but looks like it's well guided for the most part so far. 7th house energy, we have the Five of Cups, which is Scorpio energy, and in this deck, it is referred to as the Lord of the loss of in pleasure. So, can't win them all, right? So far, things have looked pretty good for you, especially financially, even to an extent spiritually, maybe those two things working in conjunction with each other. But yeah, to see this in the 7th house, of course, could just be saying that maybe that area of life, you guys, which generally speaking, 7th house is partnerships, contracts, relationships, maybe you'll find that that area of life will be more lackluster this year. Now, if we think about the Five of Cups in a lot of decks, it usually shows 3 cups knocked over and the person fixated on those, and then there's 2 cups standing nearby that they're not even aware of, right? So keep that in mind too, right? It could just be one of those things where maybe your lives might be a little bit imbalanced, right? So you might have these successes going on somewhere else, and maybe when you contrast that with other areas of your life, you might feel like those areas of life are really falling behind, but that might not truly be the case. But yeah, either way, could just be saying that this is more of a strong financial year for you versus romantic. All right. In the 8th house, we have the Four of Wands, which is the Lord of perfected work. So Aries energy here, which we also did see come up with the dice. And yeah, I mean, given that we're talking about Saturn's going to be in there for most of the year, and then we see the Saturn symbolism in your first house energy, I feel like this is saying that the work you're going to put in this year is really going to pay off, which, what more could you ask for as a person, right? To know that the work you will put in will pay off in the end, right? That I feel like that's a very important driver, right? So I feel like that's going to be what you guys are going to be experiencing this year for sure. All right, 9th house energy, we have the Wheel of Fortune, which is the Lord of the Forces of Life in this deck. So this is a Jupiterian energy here, and Jupiter is going to be in Cancer until July, essentially, and then it will move into Leo. So it's going to be moving from your 2nd house of possession, self-worth, finances into your 3rd house of communication, short journey, siblings. So I feel like those two energies might be working together as well, right? So, you build up some financial success. Maybe from there you get more networking opportunities. might start to see some growth on that area of life. And then, given that this is ninth house energy, which we talked about, pointing to uh, philosophy, higher learning, foreign affairs, and seeing the energies we talked about with the third and fourth house, this could be another indicator that, like I said, you might just get exposed to new ways of looking at things, and they're really going to benefit you in the long run. All right. In the 10th house, which points primarily to career and social status, we have the Eight of Pentacles, Virgo energy, and it's the Lord of Prudence. So, yeah, seeing this here, again, like I said, it looks like there's this mixture of very real, tangible, material success, but also this spiritual twist to it as well. And that could be what you guys ultimately be experiencing it with this, right? So, again, I was talking about seeing the fourth house energy, which for you guys is Virgo. We see it again here, and then that 10th house energy of Pisces. So, definitely looks like there's going to be some blend for you guys where the spiritual and material actually blend together well in your favor this year. All right, 11th house energy, we have Three of Pentacles, which in this deck is the Lord of Material Work. So a lot of indicators of work, right? And just strong energies around it as well. Like I said, really the only one that stands out in this spread so far is a bit of a downer would be the 7th house energy with the Lord of Loss and Pleasure. But again, like I said, hey, you can't win them all, right? So if all these other areas of your life seem to be really strong, and maybe there's another area that's lacking, that could make it stand out even more like a sore thumb. So, but yeah, seeing this here, this is a Capricorn energy, so, and usually this deck in particular has slightly different symbolism, but usually I view this as a blend of Saturnian and Venusian energy, which ironically you have with the Justice in the first house, but uh, basically to say that you're going to build something that's long standing, that you actually truly will enjoy and be proud of as well. So, given that this is 11th house energy, maybe this is saying the groups that you'll be associating with this year, your friendships will really be strong. And 12th house energy, we have the King of Swords. So, this is Aquarius energy. And in this deck, we see it's the Prince of the Chariots of the Winds. So, looking at this energy here, I feel like this is saying that, yeah, I feel like there's going to be this confidence that comes to you through spirituality. So, it's not always how things play out, but that's really what's coming across here with these energies, with the way that they're blending together. So, nothing wrong with that, right? But yeah, in general, 12th house points to spirituality, blind spots, mental health. So, again, I just have these indicators in the spread that there's going to be something that really kicks off for you with a spiritual blend, but also very grounded in the material world at the same time, which is an interesting and tricky energy to navigate. But it looks like you're going to be doing it well this year. All right, and bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords. There we go. And this deck refers to that as the Lord of the Root of the Powers of Air. Sounds pretty dramatic, right? But yeah, again, like I said, I feel like you're going to have this sharp intellect on the one hand, but also, like I said, it's going to be spiritually guided in ways, and it's going to play out in very real, tangible ways for you guys this year as well. So, really no complaints, right? Like I said, yeah, the 7th house looks like a bit of a downer, but we'll see what the Oracle card adds to the mix. So, like I said, we're going to pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. I'm just going to give this a few shuffles. We'll cut the deck and pull a card. All right, and we'll take this card, get this out of the way, and we'll take a look at the card. All right, we have Come to the Edge. There's the artwork. The number is 36, and we'll see what it says in the book. Definitely makes me think of the Fool energy, right? So yeah, for some of you, this could be a pretty drastic shift for you. But again, like I said, I feel like it's gonna, on the one hand, I have a feeling it's gonna feel very natural to you, while it might seem foreign in the beginning. once you get the hang of it, you're going to feel at home. All right, essential meanings says courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear, and accepting risk. The Oracle's message, facing the unknown is the only choice you really have right now if you want to progress. It's okay to be afraid. Now is the time to take a risk that is not calculated, to feel the exhilaration as you ready yourself for a leap of faith. Spirit is present, so let go of fear. You are called to express your true self. Listen to your heart and soul, not your head. Come to the edge and discover that you can fly. You must step into the unfamiliar, so that you may find your miracles. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there, right? Because it seems to point to what we were talking about with the spirituality, maybe looking at things from a different perspective that you hadn't done up to this point. So hopefully that message resonated. The relationship message says it's scary to be truly intimate with someone, to allow him or her to see all of you, especially the parts that you've kept hidden and protected. Now's the time to take that risk and let yourself be seen, truly seen. It's important that you speak up, voice what you need, state who you are, say what you hope for. This is not the time to play it safe, but to take a leap of faith. You'll be glad you did. And if you're seeking a relationship, the same applies. Take one step toward the gods, and they will deliver what you truly desire. So yeah, certainly a pretty strong message there as well. So yeah, like I said, from the looks of it, it looks like finances will be pretty strong, somehow tied in with spirituality. Like we said, 7th house energy looks a little bit lacking, but for those of you who are looking for guidance there, hopefully that message resonated. And lastly, the prosperity message says, if ever there was a time for you to take a leap of faith into the unknown, it is now. This is the perfect moment to take a big risk. The unknown is the only choice now, and if you come to the edge, you will discover treasure beyond your wildest dreams. Allow your courage to lead you in spite of your fears. You don't need to know the exact form of what you're going for. The essence is much more powerful, and Spirit has a way of delivering an even better version of prosperity than you could imagine. Take that step. The results will be amazing. So yeah, prosperity-wise, I mean, like we said, with these strong pentacle energies and also where they're placed, looks like this is going to be a pretty solid year for you guys overall. Like we said, yes, maybe the love life thing could be a little bit lacking, but it gave you some guidance there as well. So hopefully that resonated with you guys. Once again, hope you're having a good holiday season and new year. Bye.